What's going on, 49er faithful? That's right, the 49ers day 3 of the draft is officially closed. It's in the books. The San Francisco 49ers had 7 draft picks, and they used all 7, and I'm super excited because they just did what they needed to do. They filled this daggone roster. Now, I know a lot of us scratching our head, but it's all good. I guarantee you that the 49ers are going to be better in years to come. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And welcome to Day 3's reaction show. Woo! Let's talk about what the Niners did on Day 3 with their draft picks. All right, this was, Day 3 is an important pivotal day because it closes out the draft, and then you get your undrafted free agents, and then you send out the invites that you want to come to rookie minicamp. So we're gonna, quickly just get through that, and then I tell you what, on the Monday's WayneBreezie show, what we'll do is we'll recap the whole draft and go through all the picks, the good, the bad, the ugly. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about these Day 3 picks. And the first one they got was C.J. West, because my initial reaction for C.J. West was like, dog. Dog. And I truly understand how the Niners attacked this particular draft. They went dog city. Some of it is athleticism, RAS score, but they went full dog city on this draft. Now, I was pretty high on C.J. West because of his motor. That was the first thing that I knew that I liked about him when I started to scout him and kind of evaluate C.J. West, defensive tackle out of Indiana, 6'1", 317 pounds. He's a graduate transfer senior, so he's played a lot of football. Last season, 42 tackles, 14 solo tackles, 2 sacks. So not high in the sack production. You're not getting that high pressure rate from him. But what you're getting is another interior guy, 300-plus pound dude to really solidify that middle. The Niners are they're looking to do one thing this year and get better and run defense, all right? And the thing that stood out to me the most after the East-West Shrine Bowl game was his quick burst. And then when you watched him perform at the NFL Combine, you saw energy. You saw the quick burst. What does Kurtis Rourke like? Quick first step. Right off the snap, he's shooting that gap. He plays with good leverage, so you don't got to worry about the high pad level because he's kind of short and stout, right? So his leverage is natural, opposed to having we drafted the big 6'6" Alfred Collins, who's a lot taller. Now you got a guy that's short and stout and low to the ground. Kind of gives me those Aaron Donald vibes. He's strong just like that, and he wants to get to the quarterback. You heard what he said out there. And he plays with really high effort. So you get high motor, you get quick first step, and you get natural leverage from C.J. West. I think that was a solid pick for the Niners to draft the first pick in round 3 at pick 113. So they doubled up on the defensive tackle position, and I'm like, yes, right, get better in the trenches for sure. Where does he struggle? I tell you what, I'm going to do a full breakdown on the Patreon. So we'll watch some film on these players. I'm going to do full segments on them. It's called These Are the Breaks. So make sure you guys subscribe to the Patreon, www.patreon.com, and you'll be able to /Wayne, the WayneBreezie, and you'll be able to check out those. Those will be coming up all next week. So you don't want to miss out on those. But, sometimes balance can be an issue for him and his tackling technique. So these are things, in my opinion, that can be coachable. Now, there was a 6th round grade on him, I think, prior to the NFL Combine, and I think because of his athleticism, it might have shot up to maybe 4th round grade. I had a 4th round grade on him, 3rd to 4th round grade, and he was drafted in the 3rd round. All right, so that was the first 3rd round pick, and then pick 138, the San Francisco 49ers went wide receiver. Now, this particular wide receiver was a guy that they brought in. He had a top 30 visit with the 49ers, and there's some reports out there that said that, they told him that it was going to be tough for him to, get some burn as a rookie with the San Francisco 49ers. But you know what? I like that the 49ers went wide receiver. We got the injury to Brandon Ayuk. I'm sorry, Deebo Samuel has been traded. My apologies. So the injury to Brandon Ayuk, we don't know how much longer that's going to, keep him out at the beginning of the season. But what I do love is that they went and got this kid 5'11", and I think you can utilize him. Speed guy, 4'3". What did I say? 4'3", 7". No, I think he's 4'3", 7" speed. And so we got another 4'3" wide receiver. Last year they drafted Jacob Cowing in the 4th round, 4'3", 8" speed. Right, so you're getting these 4'3" guys that can help take the top off the defense. But I think where he'll be most dangerous, in my opinion, is in the slot. Right, I think he'll be dangerous in the slot. So let's talk about Jordan Watkins very quickly. 5'11", 200 pounds, senior coming out of Ole Miss. Right, pick 138. Pick 138. Jordan Watkins out of Ole Miss. Solid pick. Solid pick. I'm sorry if I said round 3, I meant round 4. So I did have a 4th round grade on him on and they got him in round 4. So round 4, pick 138. My apologies. Day 3, round 4. All right. So Jordan Watkins, he's very agile as a receiver. You can see him kind of get skinny, get open. He doesn't struggle with getting open. That's another thing that I like about him. Now on that roster, they had Ole Miss roster. They had a couple of receivers: Trey Harris, Juice Wells, and he was one of the receivers. 49 receptions, 906 yards for him, 18 and a half yards per average. You got to look at that number, because what Kyle Shanahan likes is his receivers to be able to get yards, whether it's after the catch or things like that. He also finished with 9 TDs, and if you look at his key, the Niners were big on yak. He is a yak monster. All right, yak monster. He's highly finding holes in the zone on the football field, and these are the things that Kyle Shanahan covets for his wide receivers, right? Because it's yards after the catch. Find the hole in the zone, catch the ball, get me more yards, and that's what he's going to do. His agility is excellent. He's a crazy agile receiver, and I'm sorry, he's a tremendous route runner. Now, his size might be a little concerning, but Brandon Ayuk was 5'11", right? Brandon Ayuk is 5'11". I can't wait to kind of like break down more like some of their physical attributes. That would be really cool. But just as an initial reaction, this is a great ass pick. Like I don't think the faithful really understand what they're getting in a wide receiver like this particular kid, Jordan Watkins. He is able to get open. Like his route running is superb, and he's on that no block, no rock thing. He says he's on no block. Now, I believe that's one of his weaknesses, and he'll get better at it for sure. He'll get better at it. I had an NFL comp. Santana Moss. I don't know if you guys remember Santana Moss. That would be kind of like my comp for him. Had him as a 4th or 5th round grade, and he got drafted. But I think the Niners can really utilize him in the slot, and he will be able to get open in the slot. Natural wide receiver, right? Not a guy that you just got to get the ball in his hands and then let his athleticism make the play. Nah, he's a natural wide receiver. So the Niners, they move on from Deebo Samuel. You kind of like replace him with another guy that you can utilize in the slot. Natural wide receiver. I really did love this pick. I didn't do much homework on Jordan Watkins. I thought we were going to go after, Trey Harris or whatnot. But, just looking at the other guy on the film, Jordan Watkins, solid pick for the San Francisco 49ers. Getting to that 5th round, all right, we went running back, man. I love me some running backs, and we went to the University of Oregon. All right, we got running back Jordan James. I knew the day they went to that Oregon Pro Day, Jordan James was who they were looking at. Like it was Jeffrey Bossa, the linebacker, and then I just was like, you know what? Something tells me they're really looking at Jordan James out there. And they did. They really did look at Jordan James out there. A bunch of a bunch of running backs prospects that I thought the 49ers could have went with. But in round 5, Kyle Shanahan gets a guy. Bobby Turner gets his guy. And the first thing that I see when I look at Jordan James is his ability to be able to run zone, outside zone, and between the tackles, like the power runs. Like it's perfectly balanced. I'm like, all right, so they got a running back that could do that. Plus he's a dynamic weapon out of the backfield. So you get rushing and receiving. He plays with low contact balance. He's hard to bring down to the ground. I think he averages like 3.13 yards after contact. So he's still going to continue to get going. He's kind of like a better version of Jordan Mason. I hate to say it, like he's a better version of Jordan Mason. Ran well in the 40. I think it's a 4.44. I gotta look that up. But overall, 5'10", 205 pounds for Jordan James. He's very agile and his vision is tremendous. He has really quick acceleration. So as soon as he gets that ball, he already understands his assignment. If it's outside zone, he knows how to kick it to that gear. If it's in between and the gaps, he knows how to kick it to that gear. And he has the power and the leverage to really get that with the quick burst up the middle. He's going to be a dynamic running back. 233 carries last year. He finished with 1,267 yards, average 5.4 yards per carry with 15 rushing touchdowns. 15 rushing touchdowns. In the receiving game, 26 receptions off of 30-something targets, 209 yards, average 8 yards. What I love about him is explosiveness. You trade Jordan Mason, and then you add an explosive running back. Now, I think this is a Bobby Turner pick, hands down, because I think Bobby really liked the explosiveness, what he saw from Jordan Mason. But you got to remember that Jordan Mason was not a Bobby Turner pick. He was an Anthony Lynn guy. I think what he did like from Jordan Mason was the explosiveness, but Jordan did struggle between the outside zone. He was really good against the power runs, but it was the outside zone. So now Bobby Turner says, look, I like Jordan Mason, but I need somebody that's going to be better with the outside zone, and they got him. So you get the explosiveness. He hits the hole very quickly. He's super consistent, and he can catch. Those are the ding, 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 dings, all right? Ding, 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 dings. Now, as far as durability, that could be part of one of his weaknesses. Can he take on that full workload? Well, guess what? He's in San Francisco, and he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. And here's my comp for him. You guys are going to laugh. You guys remember Devontae Freeman from the Atlanta Falcons? Okay, so wait, who was that? That was Bobby Turner's guy, right? Kyle Shanahan guy, right? Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman. Remember those running backs? They just got themselves their Devontae Freeman. Very versatile out of the backfield. 5th round pick from Oregon. Next, they went safety, Marquise Siegel. We're talking about probably the fastest safety out there, most athletic safety. They didn't go with a Nick Emanwari, all right, because he was a little too rich for their blood. So they decided to go with Marquise Siegel, who is probably more versatile than any safety in this draft after you do your homework. All right, we're talking versatility is key for this young fella. And I like that they addressed the safety position definitely on day 3. I thought they would. I knew they were going to get a safety. They definitely addressed the safety position in free agency. I thought they was going to wait till 7, but you saw a lot of safeties get drafted in this draft. This was a draft of the safeties, believe it or not. A lot of safeties were taking 5'11", 199, but this kid plays with power. 60 tackles combined, 30 solo tackles. He finished the season with 3 interceptions as well as 3 PBUs. All right, this kid is amazing, and his return yards on interceptions, 92 return yards. He has super quick reflexes out there. He's agile, and guess what? I said he's versatile. This kid can play in the slot. The Niners literally want to figure out that slot role and put these sub packages out on the football field. So if they go 4 wide receiver sets, you got an athletic 4-3 guy that can run. Like, this kid can really move as a safety. Like, that is blowing my freaking mind. Matter of fact, why am I sitting here acting like I don't have my own data? Let me just pull up my data. When I look at Marquise Siegel, this kid ran a 4.37, fastest 40 speed with a 1.5 split, 38-inch vert, and 10 feet 10-inch broad. This kid is going to be a problem. And again, I think the thing you like about him the most is his versatility. Yeah, he can play deep. Yep, he can play in the box. He can hit. He can tackle. He can tackle. That's another thing. He can tackle. All right, but he can cover. He can play in the slot, and I think that's crazy. And guess who the comp is for him? K'Wan Williams. And you know what? Like, and I'm not lying. Like, this is my comp for him, K'Wan Williams. No lie. And it's funny because that was who everybody, they started talking K'Wan Williams. But I feel like he's more versatile than K'Wan Williams. K'Wan Williams couldn't play the safety position. Marquise Siegel can. So really good ball skills from this kid. I think he's going to be a stout and potentially could be a day 1 starter. Yeah, 5th round pick, day 1 starter for the Niners. You have no idea how excited I am. This is amazing. Come on now. Let's go, faithful. Let's go. All right, to close out the 5th round, that was it. Then they get to the 7th round, and at this time, I'm scratching my head because we have no offensive linemen, and I'm just like, what are we doing? Like I guess the trenches on the opposite side were good, and it's funny because I felt like they addressed the offensive line in free agency. They brought back Ben Barch, and they're really happy with what they got. They actually told us that. I don't think we're paying attention to what they're saying because we want better options. And so, with the 227th pick, they draft quarterback, okay? Quarterback Kurtis Rourke out of Indiana. Kurtis Rourke out of Indiana, 6'5", 231. Big quarterback. Finally get a big body quarterback in here. Guy that can see over the offensive line. This is the guy that they decided to go with. He's a graduate senior transfer from Ohio University. He's a pocket passer with a strong arm. I mean, what do you want? He's a pocket passer with a strong arm. Kyle like his quarterbacks to stay in the pocket, complete those plays. 3,000-yard quarterback, 29 TDs, only 5 interceptions with a 69.4 completion percentage rate. He has really good arm strength. He can make those big throws down the field. His field vision is great. You ever play that Madden when certain quarterbacks with good field vision, when they pass the ball, it'd be wide open like that, because they just got good field vision. They can see it, and then the quarterbacks that struggle was really narrow. Well, he has really good field vision, and he's a leader out there on the football field. So those are just things where he's limited mobility. Right, he's not gonna move. He's a big guy. He's not gonna move. He's a big guy, but that doesn't mean he doesn't move. And he's a little older quarterback. So they went with an older quarterback. If I had to give him a comp, it would be Nick Foles, which ended up being a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So the Niners, I wanted Tyler Shugg, but he went super early. I think they got their Tyler Shugg. Now that I think about it, I think they got their older veteran guy coming out that doesn't need much teaching as far as being a leader on the football field and things like that. So you know what? I'm not going to sit here and lie. I did expect them to draft a quarterback in the 7th round. I didn't expect them to draft a quarterback with the 227th pick. I thought they would save it for the 252nd pick, but they went and got their guy. Like they're going and getting their guys. Right? That's what the Niners are doing. And then with the 249th pick in the draft, the 49ers decided to address the offensive line, and they got that another versatile player, man. And I really like Connor Colby. I believe in my early mock drafting, I mock drafted him a few times because I felt like he would be a good fit out of Iowa for the San Francisco 49ers. For the San Francisco 49ers. I felt like he'd be a good fit because of his versatility. It was one of the things that I liked about him. But looking at Connor Colby, I think he's going to be a good addition to the offensive line. He's athletic, 827 offensive snaps for this young fella, 423 run blocking snaps, 400 pass blocking snaps. He's only allowed 1 sack and 10 total pressures. So out of those 10 pressures, only one of them was a sack. This kid is powerful. Now he's very strong. I'm not sure if he plays with that mean edge, but he is strong, like strong. And what do the Niners like, especially in the run game? And that's what they need him for. I told you he was very athletic, high RAS scorer, very athletic. One of the most athletic offensive linemen coming out. And I knew they were going to go athleticism, and they said that they wanted to go with guys that were, athletic. They wanted to get quicker. All right, 178 splits, kind of like what I'm looking at, which is decent, right? Like that, I feel like for him that's pretty decent. He has a 7.9, I believe, has a 7.93 cone, and he's strong. 24 bench press reps he did at the NFL combine. 7.78 was his 3 cone. I want to make sure I give him the right time. And he did run a 5.11, but he's hella athletic for his size. I think this kid is going to be a nice addition. Like I said, he's versatile. He can play guard. He can play tackle. Okay, so this is what the Niners like. Sounds like Dominic Puni. And you know what? For the Niners, they needed to get a guard. They lost Aaron Banks. They're going to probably give Ben Barch the green light. Spencer Burford is probably going to compete for the spot. I think Spencer Burford turns into the Niners just swing offensive lineman. He's going to be able to play everywhere they need him to play. And then I think they go ahead and get a guy that can learn under Ben Bartch, who's only here for 1 year on a 1-year deal. And if anything happens to Ben Bartch in the injury, I believe Connor Colby will be really good to go. I truly do. So Kevin Zeitler is my comp for him. I had him going in the 3rd or 4th round. This kid dropped to the 7th round. Connor Colby could be the steal of the draft. When he gets on the football field, he can be the steal of the draft. Mark my mother-loving trucking words. Steal of the draft. Last pick, the San Francisco 49ers drafted wide receiver, all right? Wide receiver Junior Bergen or Bergen, all right? I don't have the correct pronunciation of his name. This kid is a wide receiver out of Montana. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at him. 184-pound guy, and I think the Niners got themselves a special teams ace. I think that's where they were looking to go, and I think special teams coordinator got himself, Brant Boyer got himself an ace. Just look at his stuff, just based off of what he did his senior year out here in Montana. FCS Athletic Directors Association Return Specialist of the Year. I think that's what I'm super excited about. That's what you're going to get. All right. You also get a wide receiver for sure, but this kid is a kick returner. All right. And just reading some of the stuff that he's done as his kick return career, you know what I'm saying? He holds the University of Montana school record for average yards on a punt, 16.71 yards on his returns. All right. And this is where the Niners need to get better. Remember, I kept saying, whenever we catch a ball, blah, 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 it's boring, fair. No, we need to start returning. Give our offense better field position for sure. But really good accolades. All Big Sky kick returner, punt returner, and wide receiver. So in this conference, he's all team, all guy. Like, I love it. Steve Carlson, team MVP award winner. All right. He was named to the East West Shrine Bowl preseason watch list. This kid is going to be a stud for the San Francisco 49ers, and I'll do a lot more just breaking down some of the things that he's done. He could run out of the backfield, as you can see. This is crazy, right? I love it. Longest reception, so he has the big playability. 2 touchdowns against Northwestern State. Oh, man, it's going to be really fun, and he's thrown for a touchdown in Indiana. So Junior Bergens, I think, is going to be a nice addition to the 49ers. I think he'll get his role going on special teams first and foremost. If anything happens, I mean, he's wide receiver, 5, 6 at this point, and they got 11 picks. That doesn't mean everybody's going to actually make the roster, but it is what it is. Congratulations to all the draft picks. I'm excited. Let's get to the UDFAs, all right? Undrafted free agents. The San Francisco 49ers got 6 so far. I believe they can have 7 just to fill their roster. I think that would max out their 90-man roster if need be. Right now, I feel like they're at 89 men because they only got 6 undrafted guys. Corey Kiner is definitely my favorite. I mock drafted him and maybe mocked in one of the later mock drafts because of his ability. Look. This kid is athletic as hell, and he can jump over leaping tall buildings. I think that's what kind of like sold me to him. Running back out of Cincinnati. I think he's going to be – we're giving him – he chose the Niners too. You got to remember, undrafted free agents chooses the teams they want to sign for. It's not – I'm sure we want a lot of players that go undrafted, but the players get to pick. The players get to pick. So – I don't want people being like, oh, my gosh, like, why Corey Kiner, like, why we didn't go after this guy? Why we didn't go after this guy? Listen, there's reasons, but these players actually chooses the teams that they want to sign for. So let's just look quick on Corey Kiner. I'm surprised that he went undrafted because of his athleticism. I thought he was going to be definitely a guy that may get taken. But Corey Kiner, running back out of Cincinnati. The kid is 5'9", 210 pounds. He is compact, short to the ground, and very freaking powerful, right? Very powerful, excellent vision, and very good contact balance. Remember I said Ashton NGNT probably has the best contact balance. This kid has really good contact balance coming out of the backfield, meaning that it's hard for to bring him down to the ground. Like, it's hard for to bring him down to the ground. Now, he ran a 4.48, so he's a 4.4 guy, 1.51 split, but he had the highest broad jump. And remember I told you I watched him jump over players? Highest broad jump. That stood out to me. I'm sorry. Highest broad jump, and he put up 24 reps at the combine on the bench. Man, listen, the Niners got them an undrafted running back. Sounds familiar? Look, the running back room, I think, is going to be pretty damn stout. Like, you see the smile on my face right now, right? Like, I think the running back room is going to be pretty damn stout. I really do. They also went with offensive guard Drew Moss out of Colorado State. And this kid is another powerful dude up the middle. Now, he plays mean. These Colorado State players, I like their offensive linemen, man. They do a lot to stand out. But this kid is going to be a problem for the 49ers if he can find a way to crack this roster. They got some really good undrafted kids. You get the cornerback, Jacob Robinson out of BYU, Dog, Sebastian Valdez, another crazy pass rushing defensive tackle from Washington. They get to Isaiah Nair. He was at the Senior Bowl, wide receiver from Nebraska. And then they cap it off with a linebacker transfer from South Carolina to Stone Blanton from Mississippi State. So the Niners got themselves some players to definitely keep an eye on as undrafted guys. I don't know how many of those guys are going to make the roster. I know the running back room is pretty stout. I think all the rooms are pretty stout. I would say Stone Blanton maybe has the best chance, depending on how the linebacker room falls. You know what I'm saying? Injuries happen and things happen. So congratulations to those guys that signed with the San Francisco 49ers. And then we got a couple of players invited to rookie minicamp. All right, so we got the outside linebacker, Ty French from West Virginia, and then we got another defensive back, Jack Howell from Colorado State. So a couple of Colorado State players in here in the building for the San Francisco 49ers. They got invited. There's going to be other invites to the rookie mini camp and seeing if they could beat out one of these guys or earn a spot right here. The Niners have one spot available, so rookie mini camp is going to be on point. They're going to probably take one of the best player from that rookie mini camp, and we'll see how that goes down. Guys, let me know how you wanted to grade day 3 of the draft. Overall, they doubled up on positions. They got another interior mean guy up the middle. I feel like no one's going to be able to run on the San Francisco 49ers. I think they added extra, spice at the wide receiving position. I think if Junior Bergen really pans out, the Niners finally got them a returner. Okay, you don't gotta double up and use Ricky Pearsall. No, you got a returner. Connor Cobley, I think, is going to be the steal of day 3, in my opinion. Overall, my grade for the San Francisco 49ers on day 3. This is tough. I want to be stout on my grade. No problem. Not Upton stout, but day 3 grade, I think I'm going to give it a solid B. I think this is a solid B. I think you stamped the approval of the solid B. You got very athletic guys, in my opinion, and Marquise Siegel, C.J. West, Jordan Watkins, Jordan James. All these guys can move. They can run, right? But I really love that Connor Colby pick. I know a lot of 49er fans felt like we should have drafted more, but I'm going to give it a solid B. So it's a solid B. Let me know what your grade is in the comment section of the show, and let me know how you guys are feeling just overall about the 49ers draft. But I think day 3 grade, solid B with the players. They did leave some players out there that I thought would have fit with the San Francisco 49ers, but they still filled the holes that they needed to fill, and they brought in some competition. I don't care what anybody says. Love you guys. Keep your heads to the sky and keep it faithful to the Bay. Thanks for watching. Peace. What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.